I've always loved trucks. Big, bold, heavy-duty machines that get the job done, and then some. My pride and joy is a lifted Ford F-350 Super Duty, matte black, chrome trim, 37-inch tires. Sure, it's a beast, but I bought it for work. I run a small landscaping business, and that truck hauls everything from mulch to lawnmowers. When I bought my home in a gated HOA community, I specifically asked the realtor about vehicle restrictions. He said, "Nothing major, just no junkers on cinder blocks." Fine by me. My truck's clean, professional, and legally registered. For 6 months, there were no issues. I parked it neatly in my driveway, kept it clean, and didn't rev the engine at night. My neighbors didn't complain, at least not to me. But then came the envelope. "Dear homeowner, your vehicle, a Ford F-350, violates HOA Code 7.4b regarding maximum vehicle size. Trucks exceeding 22 feet in length or appearing commercial in use or appearance are not permitted on driveways overnight. Please relocate the vehicle within 10 days to avoid fines." I measured my truck, 22 feet and 2 inches. Seriously? 2 inches? I called the HOA president, a guy named Dennis who speaks exclusively in passive-aggressive email. I explained the truck was legally parked, well-maintained, and used for my job. He replied with a quote from the bylaws and said exceptions. Compromise community standards. I offered to park it sideways, partially in the garage, even to cover it with a custom tarp. No exceptions, he said. Now, I could have just rented a space elsewhere, but that's not how I'm wired. Instead, I came up with a more poetic solution. I bought another truck, a tiny one. After a bit of searching, I found a 1989 Suzuki Carry mini truck imported from Japan. Street legal, clean title, and roughly 10 feet long. It looked like a golf cart with a bed. The thing barely hit 60 miles per hour. I had it shipped, detailed, and painted matte black to match the F-350. I even added a matching decal, tiny duty on the side. Then I parked it right next to the F-350 in my driveway, nose to tail. The two of them together barely stretched past the garage. And just for fun, I left a measuring tape out one morning with a sticky note. Combined length, 21 feet 10 inches. Fully within HOA limits. Thanks for your concern. I didn't hear anything for a week. Then Dennis came by personally. I was out front washing both trucks when he approached, arms crossed like he was about to issue a ticket. "I see you've added another vehicle," he said stiffly. "Sure did," I smiled. "Had to meet HOA guidelines, right?" He stared at the mini truck, trying to figure out what to say. "This one's street legal?" "Absolutely. Registered, insured, emissions tested. Even has a cup holder." He looked at both trucks again and sighed. "Well, just make sure they don't overhang the sidewalk." "They don't. Want to measure?" He didn't answer. Just turned and walked off, muttering something about cleverness doesn't mean compliance. But here's the kicker. Neighbors loved it. Kids thought the mini truck was hilarious. One family even asked to borrow it for a neighborhood parade. Another guy down the street bought one just like it. Soon it became a neighborhood joke. Big truck, little truck. People waved as I drove tiny duty to pick up coffee or haul a single bag of soil. And best of all, the HOA hasn't sent me another letter since. Moral of the story? If they say your truck's too big, don't argue. Just buy a second one that's so small, they can't say a word. And then park them both.